from the work. It attests to that. Andrew and I first came across Guan Weis' work at the Art Gallery of New South Wales in about 2003, 2002, and we subsequently sought him out at Jean Sherman's gallery, and we were gobsmacked converts, and we're fortunate to own a couple of pieces by him and able to live with his work. One is a 20-panel piece called Target, much to the consternation of our architects. We were in the middle of designing a house, made them expand the one wall so we could fit the work in. So important is your work. And I wouldn't claim to be an expert, but as the saying goes, I do know what I like. And I like work that is impossible. So I like lightning in a bottle. And Guan Weis' work is at once grand and it's specific. It's great vistas of social dysfunction without generalisation or empty gesture. And the palette's always surprising, but it's somehow always exactly right. The figures are distinct and idiosyncratic, but they're remarkably universal. The work is filled with incredible humour, yet it's addressing vital, serious issues. And there's a delicacy there, but there's also a scale. He's both an Australian artist and a Chinese artist. He's got a foot in both camps, something which the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade have been trying to do for years. And it seems to me that it's between the worlds that his work lives so vibrantly. It's taught with difference, positively vibrating with contradiction, difficulty and anxiety, yet it's clear as a bell, we can attest, it's easy to live with, and it's free in spirit. It's irreconcilable, but aesthetically resolved, so I'm very clearly a fan. And it's been a while since Guan Weis had a show here. That's because he went back to Beijing with his beautiful wife, Lu Pin, and their daughter, Mimi, who, Lu Pin showed us her sketchbook, and I think it's Move Over Guan Weis. She's extraordinary, even at the very tender years. And they set themselves back up over there, and we had the great good fortune of seeing the wonderful studio set up that Guan Weis has there. It's just outside the city, in an old factory, and there's a couple of artists working there. It's a beautiful, big, light, airy spaces. And on that same trip, Guan Weis very kindly showed us around 798, which is an amazing fine arts precinct in the city itself. I'm sure many of you are aware of that. And actually, at this time, this last year, both Andrew and I thought that Guan Weis was gone for good. Soul. And he was working a lot. He seemed to be completely reintegrated into the art scene, and what an art scene it is. And we just thought Australia had probably lost one of its greatest commentators and one of its most wonderful painters. But surprising as ever, and after terrible trouble with his studio, which was reclaimed by the government and demolished with 2 days' notice, he's back. Well, half back. We're still working on that one. And that's not the real surprise. I think the real surprise for me, as it turns out, that Guan Weis has been missing Australia terribly. And of all places, the seaside. And I think that's what this beautiful exhibition tonight really delves into. The beautiful works in this show are full of irreverent fondness for Australia. And they engage profoundly with the real Australian image of equality, the beach. Not that I'm ever on the beach, but it is beautiful. And it's on the beach that our best, I observe it from afar, our easygoing Australian secular natural democracy finds its clearest expression. The natural beauty of the country, the graceful lifestyle envied by so many, coveted and lionised, the freedom of the beach. But it's also on the beach that our racism reared its head in Cronulla in the riots of 2006. The beaches here are a place of arrival for coloniser and refugee alike. The beach is a site of great national conflict historically and right now. These works are incredibly relevant. And once again, Guan Weis has found an image alive with contradiction and rendered it lovingly and meticulously into his particular idiom. But most importantly, this series of works tonight are a real joy. They have an incredible lightness of spirit, which we all crave right now, I think. And this comes from the thrill of being back. Guan Weis is back, and he's on fire. Thank you.